Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl T-Doll. Today's video is going to be a little bit more on the personal side. It's going to be a little emotional for me, but we're going to get through it. So, I'm already getting teary. This is the story behind my single, Facts. Yes, I'm an artist, if you did not know.
And as me road, it make me stuff exclusive to you, but you still move like you own me. I'm a survivor, just can't make it a glory, cause the abuse is a whole other story.
Why am I getting emotional already? One moment, I'll be right back. I met my ex. We're not gonna name this person, or we're gonna give him a fake name. We're gonna name him...
He needs some milk.
We're gonna name him George. So George and I met December of 2019, and we dated on and off until August of 2022. We met through a mutual friend. I was out with one of my friends who's an artist from Jamaica. I will not name him, but George showed up, and it was clear there was mutual interest there, and at the end of the night, numbers were exchanged. Fast forward a week. Okay, I'm grown. We hung out, and we're grown over here. Okay, we hooked up. Woo! That was my first time ever doing something like that. This was my second serious relationship. Yeah, that's what it was. A couple days later, he actually, this is my dumbass, he actually invited me to court with him to bail out a friend. And whoop-de-doo, Twanna the idiot was like, okay, I'll come along. And that was cool. We were there for a few hours, and we left. And, you know, we did what we had to do. We kept in contact. At this point, honestly, I was not looking for a relationship. I was very much in the single phase where I was just having fun, but I was not sleeping with anybody but this person, let's be clear. And so I remember December 24th, which is Christmas Eve, I was supposed to come on my cycle, and I missed it. And I'm the type of person that I get a regular period, so I don't miss periods. So when that happened, it was alarming. I did mention it to him, and he was just kind of like, no, you're good. Christmas came, still nothing. Now it's New Year's, January 1st, and I'm panicking because I'm like, okay, this is over a week, something's going on, weird stuff is happening, I don't know. And so I decided to get a pregnancy test, but I didn't take it that day. I took it the following day, which is July 2nd. I will include January 2nd shots, and surprise, I was indeed pregnant. I started panicking. I called him. I was crying. I was scared. I was in school at the time, and he was just kind of like, oh, those tests, they may not be 100%. It was clear blue, trust me, it was 100%. But he was just in denial. I was more so like, okay, I know this is what it is type of stuff. And I believe it's the following week, I was in the shower and I passed out, and I had called him and I said I'm not feeling well. He came, went to the hospital, and then through blood work and stuff, it was confirmed that I was indeed pregnant. And so reality sat for a minute. We had to go in, was it the next week? I was just about to turn 21. My birthday is January 14th. And so I was just like, no, this is not happening. I don't even know this person fully. Like, I don't want to have a baby with somebody that I don't know. Like, it's a complete stranger. Yes, we're hanging out, but I don't really know you like that, sir. Anyways, the next week, I believe, we went again. We had an appointment to go to the hospital, and we went. And during this visit, I realized everything was taking so long. They had to check me vaginally, which was a little painful because I guess they weren't seeing what they wanted to. And I don't know, I felt like something was wrong, but they weren't trying to tell me type stuff. She kept asking, have you been spotting, or have you been, oh god, I don't want to be too explicit, but she was asking me questions that made me think, okay, something's clearly wrong, but she wasn't saying, she wasn't being forward or anything. So I was just like, no, everything's normal. We were there for hours. Like, we got there about like maybe 12. We were there till nighttime. And then finally, a gentleman came in the room and he was just like, I'm sorry to say, but you had a, oh god, what's the term? A blighted ovum. I'm gonna put a little Google description of what that is, so you guys understand what was happening with me. And I remember, even though I was not ready for a baby, I remember I burst into tears. I don't know what happened, but I was just crying. And he was very supportive at the time. I will not take that away from him. And we left. Fast forward, we went to Jamaica 3 months later. Oh my god, we moved fast. Went to Jamaica 3 months later. It was fine. At this point, okay, I'm the type of person, if you do not ask me to be your girlfriend, I don't really consider myself your girlfriend. You have to be direct with me. So I was texting other people, which you can do if you're a single person. Yeah. He had went through my phone and saw stuff he didn't approve of, and I was confused as to why he was upset. Because, like I said, he's never asked me to be his girlfriend. But according to him, it was to be known. So he got aggressive with me, and that should have been, honestly, looking back, I think that should have been a sign that, hey, this person might have some anger issues, or there's just not somebody you want to be in a relationship with. But I kind of felt like, okay, I understand he's upset. It was not justified, I don't think, because like I said, I'm single. But yeah, I apologized and we were fine. So at this point now we're exclusive, from what I know. A year into the relationship, a little over a year actually. This was January of 2021. Yeah, so I had gone through his phone, and this is one thing I'll say, ladies, like, if you're gonna go through a man's phone, you're gonna find something. Like, I would not recommend going through people's phones anymore. I would not do it. Like, I cannot take the stress. Like, you go looking for something, you're always gonna find it. And I did find something. I was very upset about it, but I never brought it up. I kind of just I screenshot everything, and that was it. I didn't say anything to this person. I just held it in for a few days, and said before, my birthday is January 14th, so I had ordered a cake from this specific cake company, and I had seen that he had ordered a cake for another woman from the same company. And I was just completely disgusted. Like, I was just like, these dudes ain't you know? I lost it. I was just like, you know what? This nigga type shit. I'm sorry for my language, but that was where my head was at. And yeah, so once I saw that, I was kind of like, you know what? On to the next, I'm over you. And I blocked him. And I ended up reaching out to this guy that had been DMing me for months, but I never really gave him the time of day because I was in a relationship. And I was just like, hey, and we exchanged numbers, and we ended up being on FaceTime the entire night. Like, we fell asleep on the phone. And that's what it was. Like, we would talk every single day for hours, up until my birthday. So I found this out early January. My birthday's the 14th. So keep that in mind. Oh yeah. I guess my ex, because I did say I was done, was planning a surprise party or getaway for me. But I didn't really know the specifics. He reached out to one of my friends, and she was the one that was kind of doing the planning and like informing me about like where I'm gonna be and stuff like that. So I had gotten my makeup done that day of my birthday, and I went to the hotel, which I guess he had rented out for me and my friends. So we're there. I have no idea he's gonna be there because, like I said, I'm not with him at this point. I've not been talking to him. Nothing. So he shows up with his friend, and it was fine. Like, I didn't really pay him no mind. I was just kind of there with my friends and just chilling. There was one point he yelled at me for something, and I just kind of ignored him, and my friend was like, don't yell at her. And then him and his friend had left. They went downstairs, or I don't know, but they were gone for a few hours. My other friends came, and we were just drinking, living it up, having fun. Now it's getting late. Thinking I'm going home, and he's like, just stay the night, I need to talk to you, what have you, blah blah blah. So my dumbass decides to stay. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It was not worth it. I could have gone without it. He took me home the following day, and that was it. Like, he was blocked from contacting me, but I did not block him on Instagram, so he was able to DM me. I was not responding. But one thing I will say, and I can take ownership for this, is that I was still being intimate with him even after we had broken up. And if you're done with somebody, you guys, you have to be done. Do not keep sleeping with each other. That's going to make things a lot more complicated. And that's where I went wrong in this situation. I had a music video, and this is another part of the story that's kind of sketchy. He was my manager at the time, so he was at the video shoot. He had my phone. At this point, I've changed my password and everything, so I don't know how he was able to get on my phone. I guess he was looking over my shoulder or some weird shit like that, but he got my passcode. We're at the shoot. He has my phone. I'm not thinking anything of it because, like I said, I know I'm doing things because I'm single, but he don't have my code. So yeah, anyways, when the shoot is over, I'm ready to leave, and he goes, no, you're not leaving. And mind you, he has my phone, so I'm not gonna be leaving without my cell phone. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And I remember him going to the bathroom. I walked to the bedroom, and I was standing like right at the door, And he approached me, and I just remember him just clocking me in the face, like, and I fell. And I don't remember every specific detail of this because I blacked out for a few minutes, but I was aware enough to know I was being, I was aware enough to know that I was being kicked, punched. I remember him like ripping my clothes off me. And then recording me saying she's for the streets, just all these insults. And the reason he was doing that was because he had seen I was talking to somebody else, so he was in his feelings. That does not excuse putting your hands on someone. I don't think that's acceptable for a man or woman to be putting hands on each other. At this point I'm naked. He puts me in the hot tub because the room had a hot tub in it, and he was just filming me. He called his friends and he was saying things I will not repeat, but it was very scary. And he lifted me up, put me in the bed, and proceeded to do what he wanted to do with me, basically. I knew I was gonna get emotional. I'm over the situation, but every time I talk about it, I get like this, because it was just a very scary. I've never seen that side of him, and it's almost as if, I don't know if I'm the only one that believes in this, it's almost like a demon like took over his body. Like when I looked in his eyes, I did not see him. It was like he had no soul. Like it was scary. And that happened all night. Like I was getting abused by every definition of the word. And the following morning, I was just like, I knew something was wrong with my hand because I was not able to move it. I'm just like, no. Actually, that night, I realized something was wrong with my hand, and he offered to take me to drive us to Shoppers and got me like a wristband to kind of, I don't know. Anyways, we went back to the hotel, and every time he went through my phone, like, he would just hit on me and stuff like that. Then he starts calling my friends and disrespecting them, thinking, because in his mind, they should have told him that I was talking to other people, which made no sense because they're my friends, not yours, and I'm not in a relationship with you. But like I said, I was still intimate with this person, which I do regret. And I can take ownership for. So fast forward to the following day, which is Valentine's Day. And I remember him saying to me, "You're not going home tonight. Like we're gonna enjoy Valentine's Day." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this man is seriously cuckoo. Like he's nuts.
Stupid.
So I'm about to take a shower and I hear him on the phone with somebody. I'm like, what else? So he was actually on the phone with Jaden. Remember Jaden from my DMs? Yeah. Him and Jaden are talking. He's going off on Jaden. Then they're having conversations and it's just super petty and stupid. And he had also contacted Jaden's ex. He was on FaceTime with her. I was just like, okay, "You're very weird." He kept saying he's heartbroken, so he's gonna make sure everybody's heart's broken. So he was on a mission to call everybody, and he did. So I remember going in the shower, and I hear him saying she's not leaving. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not going through another night of this torture. And so I wrapped a towel, because I did not bring clothes in the bathroom with me. I wrapped a towel around my body, and I literally ran outside the in the hallway to the elevator, and then he followed me out. I went downstairs in tow, and the receptionist was kind of looking at me like, "Are you okay? Do you need me to call the police?" And I'm shaking my head like, "No, I'm not okay." And then George went outside to have a smoke or something, and the receptionist called me over, and he was like, "Here's a new key. If he comes up, he'll not be able to come in. Just run upstairs, go get your clothes, and come back down." And that's what I did. I ran upstairs, came back downstairs, and then George came back inside. He was standing by me, and I was ignoring him. He was still on the phone with Jaden at this time, but I was not paying attention to either one of them. I was just trying to get my thoughts together. And then George went back upstairs, and I was just in the lobby. He came back down, trying to force me back upstairs, and I refused. He went outside. So finally, I was just like, I called my friends, and I had told them what had happened, and they're like, "No, T, like, you need to call the police. Like, this is not okay." And so I went over to the receptionist, and they were like, "Do you need me to call the police?" And I said yes, and I was on the phone with them, and they asked if I needed an ambulance. And at this point, like I said, something was wrong with my hand, and I've been abused so badly, I actually did need an ambulance, and so I said yes. So they came very quickly, and George, I almost called his real name, George noticed that police were coming, so he was texting me. He's like, "You really called the cops on me?" And now he's because I have two phones. He have two phones, but the one I use is the one he has, and I have the other one in my hand, and he's trying to call me, but I'm not answering. The police are saying, "Do not answer," and he's texting me. I knew he wanted to like prep me to tell them some nonsense ass story, and I'm so happy I didn't answer. I did not see when he got arrested. They rushed me to the ambulance, and they took a report, and then took me to the hospital. The police was super sweet. He stayed with me the entire night. Oh my god, why am I getting emotional? He stayed with me the entire night. After being at the hospital for a few hours, a detective came to take more notes, because when the police was taking notes, like, I'm still emotionally going through everything, so I'm not necessarily detailing all the events. But once the detective was there, I pretty much told him everything, literally everything. After this, I had to take like a brain scan and stuff like that. I did have a mild concussion, and I also had a fractured wrist, and then I was bruised and stuff like that from the abuse. Another part of this I'm hesitant to share, only because I do want this person to pay for what he has done, but I'm not in the business of trying to completely ruin someone's life, even though I feel like he did that to me. So the following day, which is the 15th, I had called the